I did a giveaway for my 500 subscribers special, and in that video, I announced I would be doing a Q&A video for the giveaway winner reveal. People who asked questions got extra entries for the giveaway. Thank you guys for all the comments. There were 320 plus people who signed up for the giveaway, and I just think that's insane. The winner of the giveaway is announced at the end of this video. Feel free to skip to the end. Now, let me answer some questions. What got you into making builds, and how did you learn to make them? With 2.0, making builds has a ton of variation to it now. It's one of the most interesting parts of Wynncraft for me. I don't really care about professions or crafted, but making builds is how you express yourself, and it's how you play the game in different ways. My very first video to show off using a very weird item with a very not good ability, and taking advantage of that, I made a weird thunder lament Rift Walker build. Obviously it sucked, but that was not the point. The point wasn't for it to be good. It was good for a lament build, but at the same time it was just really bad. How do you not get burned out from the game? I actually don't play Wynncraft that much. A lot of my time spent in game is either recording gameplay or putting builds together, gathering the items and whatnot. It's kind of hard to get burned out of something if you don't really play it too much. And then I'm not going to get burned out of editing, because editing is making videos so far has been really fun for me. If you could make a quest in Wynncraft, what would it be? It would be a boss rush, easily. Kira Hive, Legendary Island. I love those quests, and I feel like we need more and harder ones. So it would be for the Silent Expanse. Alternatively, it could be a boss rush for earlier levels that's not Tower of Ascension, but rather something that introduces you to boss fighting early on, maybe level 40. That would be really cool. What inspired you to dedicate so much time into Wynn? It's a weird question. I haven't actually dedicated that much time. The channel's only been around for 2 months. I just wanted to make builds originally, just having fun, showing off whatever stupid I was making. And then it actually transformed into wanting to be more helpful than just making dumb stuff, because I've realized that there's no one else making build content for 2.0. So all these people are coming, they're saying, thank you so much for showing me this build. I'm going to use this. And I'm like, no, you're not supposed to use these builds. What are people really this lost when it comes to builds? So I kept making videos. I made my Wynncraft endgame Fallen build off of the one that I was using at the time. I've learned that the build that I showed in that video isn't good. It also came at a bad time because it got nerfed soon after, which is pretty funny. So both of my Fallen build videos were nerfed, and obviously I kept making build videos. So like Twain's Arc, Trickster, I made more Penny's Yall builds that actually work. Do you think Wynncraft would benefit from a larger fan base? Do you think the server being more popular would help to make it better, or would you like it more as a more niche community as it is now? Obviously, I don't want Wynncraft to continue staying niche. The fact that Wynncraft is still around, even though it's a server that 100% relies on a texture pack, is insane. There are games on Hypixel that have died out simply because it requires the player to download a texture pack. So the fact that Wynncraft is doing as well as it is absolutely insane. If it did blow up, what are the logistics issues behind that? I don't know. Obviously, during the Christmas double XP weekend, you can kind of tell what would happen if we had more players. The server currently just isn't really prepared for it. That's not my issue. That is an administration issue that will have to be dealt with at the time if it ever happens. Why is there a cat sucking on a pacifier? I find it very random. Any plans on doing other quick types of guides like you did the TNA raid? If so, what would you like to do next? Quick guides. I actually really loved making that TNA guide. I was speaking way too close to my mic, and I was peaking way too often, to the point where I actually want to remake that video, make it shorter and make it better. But I would rather make different stuff before that happens. Obviously, I want to make fast guide videos for a whole lot of content that people need it for. There's the ideas, and then there's the execution. I would have to see. What are some of my favorite music artists? Number one, C418. He is the person who inspired me to make music in the first place. I love his music. I love how experimental it is. More recently, I'm just gonna choose a favorite music artist from every genre that I listen to. Volcore X is my favorite artist for synthwave. Kikuo is my favorite Vocaloid artist. Jessimu is just the best. Every song he makes is a bop. I'm a bigger fan of Carpenter Brut than I am of Volcore X. Carpenter Brut just makes the best music. It's just so good. Volcore X, close second. Honorable mentions would be Pinocchio P, Kevin Penkin, Christopher Larkin, Millie. Those artists are so good. If we're talking about mainstream media, it'd be Freddie Mercury. What's your favorite items and builds? Phage Pins, Slayer, Revenant, Drizzling Dublé gets an honorable mention for being the best low-level item in the game. Contrast, Vortex Bracer, Dispersion. I love these items. Do you think Wynn lacks a balanced, decent endgame non-mythic weapon pool? Balanced? No. But it does have a decent option for every class. So you got Infidel, you got Overdrive. For Mage is plenty. You got Cascade, you got Phoenix Wing, you got Morrowind, the Nothing. Assassin? No. Assassin has the worst options. Specialist is a good option. Mana, Thrunda, Ripsaw, maybe? Do you play any games other than Wynncraft? I've been playing Deep Rock Galactic with my friends. Fun friend game, but if you play that game too long solo, you're gonna be depressed. How thoroughly do you script your videos? Only if they need to be scripted. The question mark video that I just made is scripted, unless it was like post voiceover corrections. Those aren't scripted. I just figure out I would want to say this in a spot, so I say it, like I record it, post it in there, fit it in. Usually to start, I'll have a giant script that I'll read over, and then usually I mix that in with like actual in-game recordings of me saying stuff. Like, it's easier to get a realistic script if it's literally a real recording, right? Scripts also typically serve as a like general direction for my videos. So like my build videos, I'll have a notepad that says show build, this item's the cool item, you get the most mileage out of this identification. After you show build, show tree. Then after you show the tree, show how the build works. I'll have like a note with like 2 important, like what's the most important thing about the build that you should show, so if anyone wants to make this build, this is all they need to know, and then they can figure out more on their own. Or I'll make a quick mention if I remember to while recording the gameplay, right? Usually I'll ramble on while recording and then I just edit it out. There's a lot of rambling that goes on in my videos, but I've been getting a lot better. Would you make a detailed leveling guide for new players, as the ones I find are outdated? Yes. Leveling guide, what armor to choose, what you can do at what level, like quests, or what's the best option, dungeons. Do you want to do a dungeon? Are the items you can get from the dungeon worth it? Stuff like that. You've been given the opportunity to change any room in any raid. What room would be changed to what and why? Any room that requires you to stand and wait while mobs pour in, any of those, out. Do more rooms like the void matter room, and you have to collect the void matter, or the room in the Canyon Colossus where you have to collect the 10 iron bars. I like that. What's your favorite OST in Wynncraft? Staring into the Abyss by Corpay. So good. It is so damn good. Is it hard to make so many videos? No. Build videos are pretty easy to make. The question mark quest guide video took a long time, but that's also because it was a very ambitious project. Most of these other videos aren't ambitious projects at all, and they can be done in a day or two. This video that I'm making right now, done in a day. Not hard once you know how to get a good workflow going. If you were to make any changes to any ability of any of the ability trees, what would you change and why? I would make Ritualist better. Ritualist is very boring. What I would add, buff for the Master Lunatic later down the tree. Master Lunatic should maybe have a solo target type of buff later down the tree, or maybe Awakening Mask itself should be more buffed than it currently is. Are you planning on doing videos about anything other than Wynncraft? Yes, I do want to make a video on like Hades. I love Hades, my favorite roguelike game ever. So good. Ava or Larry? Ooh, yes, Larry. What new class would you like to see in the future of Wynncraft? Brawler. Give me some brass knuckles. Ooh, you got like martial arts, you got Brawler, and then you have like grappling class. Brawler would be able to like charge one of its spells for mobility. It'd be like Doomfist from Overwatch, where you can hold down the right click and it'd be like a big charge. That'd be sick. Do you have any plans to make a Let's Play on Wynncraft instead of builds? Yes and no. Let's Plays are pretty time consuming, and it requires you to actually play the game, unlike what I do currently. I do stream. I have some gameplay already on the channel, like starting from level 1. Editing a Let's Play video would be cutting up an hour of content into like 3 minutes. Very time consuming. So chances are maybe I might do one, and that would be for like an Iron Man hardcore challenge. I think that would be an interesting little series. It would have to be somewhat interesting. I would have to create some sort of reason as to why I would want to watch that video as well. Are you planning to do class builds on the archetypes that are considered bad by the community, such as Paladin? Yes, but this would require finding a fun build for that archetype in the first place. I want to utilize my shorts feed for like really quick build showcases. So for like Paladin, if I wanted to showcase a super tanky Paladin build that's like cheap, non-mythic, I would want to use a shorts video because one, I don't think it would make for interesting gameplay in the first place, so I don't want to make a long-winded video. It'd be a short video where it's like, dude, look at me. I'm sitting here getting hit by this boss and not dying. You can do this pretty easily. Just look at these items, buy them on the trade market, and there you go. That'd be the video. I need to have at least one video on every archetype before it gets updated, right? That's how I can make, once I have a video on every archetype, it allows me to make videos like archetype tier list and stuff like that. How you learn to cut your video so well. It's more hyper obsessing over not having any dull moments in the videos. I will cut out a lot of like me breathing in gaps in my speech. Obviously that was just an example, but that's pretty much how my videos go. That's how my editing process runs, and I'll just look at the audio spectrum and I'll just click through it. If I see any empty spaces, I'll just delete it. Unless that's like an empty space for emphasis, right? I'll leave it there, and then it obviously helps out to be more dynamic in your video. What got you interested in music? I love music, and I kind of wanted to make some music. I got started, realized I suck, tried to get better, realized I still sucked. I realized that I really do suck at like creating my own melodies and stuff like that. That's the hardest part of music for me. So being able to use MIDI instead of having to stress over how a melody flows and the progression of the chords, I already have all that done for me, and I just need to use the instruments that I want to use. And that's honestly just the most fun part. I'm gonna say that again. It's fun. Do you plan to collaborate with other creators? Yes, and I have. Go check out Celestial Sorcery's Major ID video. I do want to do more collabs, but it requires me going to people or people coming to me in the first place. I would rather make sure that I plan out the ideas beforehand. What is the origin of my username? Many years ago, when I made a Minecraft account, I decided, wow, it would be funny to make a character that is crazy in game. Lunatic. Wait, how do you spell that? I think it's Loonitic. That's lunatic? Yeah, that's a lunatic right there. That's how you spell it.
Yo, you making a Minecraft account?
What's up, brother? What'd you want to say?
Dude, add some X's to the beginning and end of your name so it makes your name look even cooler.
Oh, yeah, that sounds cool. XX Lunatic. XX. That's so cool. Hell yeah. And then over the years, it's changed from XX Lunatic XX to Lunatic to Lunatic to Looney. It's progressively gotten shorter. I'm getting tired of saying my full name. I love it. That's how my username came out. It's not really anything too special to it. Is there any skill mechanic involved in Wynncraft? What should I do to become good at it? kmaxi made a video on this just a couple days ago for how to curb your skill issue. There is skill mechanics to this game. Mob AI can't track your exact position perfectly, and instead it's tracing where you were half a second ago. And that's how it works, right? That's where it's chasing. Circling left or circling right usually is just the perfect way to dodge any sort of projectile, unless it's like random. Walk speed just makes the dodging mechanic way easier, and a lot of builds just don't really take advantage of this. Over relying on mobility spells can limit you. Having more walk speed in general, very useful. Or use builds that have more health in general. Build that allows you to get hit and you'll take less damage still. Who is your favorite VTuber? Oh no. I'm sorry for anyone who's viewing this right now. I'm about to list some names, dude. First from Hololive, you got Ayame, you got Sisei, Botan, Fubuki, Neo, Aqua. For other VTubers that aren't Japanese, you got Fillion, you got Great Moon Aroma, you got Ollie. There's more, but yeah, I had a phase where I was addicted to watching VTubers. It's an addiction, I swear. Why am I mocked for farming emeralds in the Reef? It's not much, but it's honest work. It's mostly because if you just focused more on leveling up, you can get to the end game. Loot running is just the best option. Then you have the Nameless Anomaly. If you do the Nameless Anomaly, you're making way more money than you would ever make from the Reef in an hour. You can get up to at least half a stack an hour farming the Nameless Anomaly if you have a very competent party. If you're getting carried, you can probably get like 20 LE an hour. Which video are you most proud of? Question mark video that I just made. It's a good video that people will use and hopefully reference when people need help. How on earth do you have the patience to sit and look through items for hours to figure out which ones work together? I don't. If a build doesn't work, I kind of give up on it, or I post it somewhere and I go, hey, look at this idea. This build sucks. How would I make it better? And then someone else who does have the patience will look through the items for hours and they'll figure out which one works for me. It's awesome. And this is not even because I'm a media, it's just because I've spent enough time in those chats getting to know these people that they do want to help. And these people, even if you don't already know, sometimes they'll just do it because they want to. So like Blues Builds has a build challenge tag or a build help tag that you can ping, and these people who chose to have these roles will come in and they'll help you out if the idea is cool enough or if you actually need help with the build, right? Otherwise, if you're like requesting a build, make sure to check all the builds that have already been submitted. What is your favorite non-mythic weapon and why? Blue the Sniper. You already know this answer. Pennyzilla is just the most interesting shaman relic. The rest of the non-mythic shaman relics suck. Very boring. Overdrive is big damage, but I don't care. You get walk speed, you get cool spell costs from Pennyzilla. Interesting item. Air is my favorite element in the game right now as well. And then I made an extremely weird build with it, so, you know, I love it. What is the best question to ask you? Huh. Well, that would have to be, do I lift? Answer, yes. And here's the wheel. We have 396 entries, and here we go. Can't even see it. Congratulations to Crouton18 for winning this giveaway. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.